begin today's reading of the Word today, brothers and sisters, in 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 6. Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of God, so that at the proper time he may exalt you. The verse before this one states that we need to clothe ourselves in humility toward one another, for God opposes the proud but gives grace to the humble. Humility is demonstrated by submission. It's the ability to put our own agenda away before God's agenda, even if that agenda is expressed through another person. Some of the marks of humility are that we are willing to perform the lowest and the littlest services for Jesus Christ's sake, having the consciousness of our inability to do anything apart from God. The willingness to be ignored by men. We should also be truly other-centered and not self-centered. But God gives grace to the humble. Therefore it says, God opposes the proud, but gives grace to the humble. James 4:6. Then we read in Psalm 137:6, says, the Lord lifts up the humble. He casts the wicked to the ground. And in Proverbs 29:23 says, when pride comes, then comes disgrace, but with the humble is wisdom. In Matthew 23:12 says, whoever exalts himself will be humbled, and whoever humbles himself will be exalted. James 4:6 says, but we give more grace. Therefore it says, God opposes the proud, but gives grace to the humble. And then in James 4:10 says, humble yourselves before the Lord, and he will exalt you. Pride is so natural to the fallen man that it springs up in his heart like a watered garden. None have more pride than the ones who dream they have none. You labor against it until you think you are so humble, but in your fond conceit of your humility, it proves to be pride in full bloom. Pride was man's first sin, and it will be his last. There was certainly pride in the sin of Satan and in the sin of man. As members of the church, we are not to seek honor for ourselves, but we are to walk humbly. Each one of us should think of himself and more highly of others. Christians should be clothed with humility always. True humility in the church relationship will show itself in undertaking the lowest of the church positions. If you're willing to be nothing, God will make something of you. The way to the top of the ladder is to start the lowest round. In fact, in the church of God, the way up is to go down. But he is ambitious to be at the top will find himself before long at the bottom. And finally, in Luke 14:11 says, for whoever exalts himself will be humbled, and he who humbles himself will be exalted. So brothers and sisters, I pray we do not seek honor for ourselves, but seek God's honor in everything we do. God bless you.